Hello, and welcome to the Creative Problem Solving for Dummies workshop by Daring Bio Limited. This workshop is ideal for teams who are interested in bringing innovative thinking to their businesses. If you would be interested in delivering this workshop at your company or with your team, drop me an email at graham@daringbio.com. Far too often in industry, creative problem solving is not utilized in the right place, at the right time, and using the right approach to fully benefit business. Creative solutions can save time and money and can dramatically transform productivity. This approach, as detailed in this workshop, can be used by any team members with no specific training to dramatically increase their engagement and the impact of their work on the company. The three phases of creative problem solving are shown here, showing the goal of the exercise where we take our initial problem, expand in our ideas phase before focusing on the best solution. The first phase is clearly defining the problem. And here, we look to identify a concise problem statement which can be used for the second stages. The problem statement must be understandable, written in simple language, and in a way to invite new solutions from team members with, for example, less technical experience. And only once the problem statement is complete should the team proceed to the next stage, brainstorming solutions. Here, the key is to relax, to have fun, and be in a playful mood. Creative solutions come from a relaxed mind, allowing your right brain thinking to come in. Here are a number of approaches can be used to knock people out of their traditional ways of problem solving. And the key thing here is quantity of ideas, not quality, as we will see later. The third phase then is to choose the best solution to the problem. And here, the team works to group together their ideas and focus solutions on the best combination of ideas. These three phases are defined by three different roles, which can help team members associate with the mindset involved. In defining the problem, teams should think of themselves as explorers, using unbiased, inquisitive, adventurous approaches to defining the problem in new ways. In the brainstorming phase, we are artists, not constrained by traditional thinking, happy to challenge norms and dogma, and giving our heart and soul to our performance. And in the third phase, we are the judge, assessing all of the evidence and focusing down into a single decision which we are comfortable with. This first workshop looks at defining the problem clearly. It is very common for teams to define a problem too quickly without key input from stakeholders and customers, often defining the wrong problem or choosing a problem which they believe is solvable rather than the root cause. Taking time to define a problem clearly results in much more effective solutions being found. So in the first phase, we are the explorer, looking to define the problem in a different way. The key thing here is to focus on defining the problem, not on trying to solve it yet. Here, a few approaches can be useful. For example, we can make the problem more specific or more generic, moving up and down the funnel depicted here. Questions that allow us to make it more specific include: what is the problem? Who is associated with the problem? How does the problem come about? When does the problem occur? Where does it occur? Equally, we can try to make the problem more generic by asking the question, why? Why does the problem occur? And here, we can use multiple why questions to help us expand the problem. As we identify new definitions of the problem, we can use this technique again and again to move up and down the specificity funnel. Equally, we can look to change the wording of the problem statement by rewording and rephrasing the problem. Can we also challenge any assumptions that we have about the problem that are inherent in the way we are defining the problem? Imagine that you are not a technical expert familiar with the problem, but are explaining the problem to a lay person or a family member. How can you define the problem in a different way? Here, it is important to define the problem in a different way that can open up the solution to solvers from different worlds. Here are a few examples of famous problems which have been solved by creatively defining the problem in a different way, allowing solutions to be discovered which initially would never have been found had the problems been defined by their technical experts. For example, the Exxon Valdez oil spill in the Arctic Ocean led to huge environmental catastrophe that still polluted the seabed 20 years later with crude oil. The technical experts had not managed to find a solution while focused on that of oil cleanup. However, by defining the problem differently, as one of that involving viscous materials, the problem could be approached by experts in different areas who also understood viscous materials. The eventual solution was proposed by a cement engineer who was very familiar with the properties of cement, another highly viscous material. He knew that simply vibrating cement led to a dramatic reduction in its density and ability to pump using traditional machinery. Simply by vibrating the oil on the ocean bed allowed simple extraction of the oil in a short period of time, reducing any further long-term environmental impact from the spill. Another worked example that we can work through together is that of the Dyson Cyclone vacuum cleaner, where the Dyson team was successful in defining the problem differently to attract new solutions and ultimately new products to be developed in the highly competitive vacuum cleaner industry. The first vacuum cleaners had always been highly ineffective, heavy, noisy, and often being blocked. So with the initial problem of an ineffective vacuum cleaner, we can try to make the problem more specific by asking, what is the problem? How does the problem occur? Where does the problem occur? One key problem with vacuum cleaners, of course, is that their filter becomes blocked. So now we have to find a new, more specific problem. We can again make the problem more specific to say what becomes blocked, how does it become blocked, where does it become blocked, and why does it become blocked. And this approach can allow us to define that the problem, rather than being specifically an issue about the filter, can be rephrased as a problem of the separation of the air and the dust which is collected by the vacuum cleaner. In rephrasing the blockage problem as a separation problem can open up solutions to ideas from other worlds. In the second webinar, we will be looking at brainstorming of solutions as the artist and focusing in on the way forward as the judge. If you've enjoyed this workshop, sign up to my email newsletter to receive more innovation advice and insights at graham.co.uk. at daringbio.com. Thanks for listening.